room from behind them. One of the doors in the living room opened, and their roommate Katie popped her head out of her bedroom. "I knew it!" Katie shouted, running into the kitchen wearing nothing but a lime green towel. "Liz is the queen of 5-hour dates. I knew there was no way she'd be back in time to get beats." "I am not the—" Wait, Jane interrupted. Was it a Tinder date, a her date, or a Lex date? Liz froze mid-sentence and narrowed her eyes. "Why?" "No reason," Jane said innocently. Katie giggled. Liz crossed her arms and peered suspiciously between her roommates. "Her," she finally admitted. "Yes," Jane pumped her fist. Katie booed. Okay, Katie said. "That's $5 off your tab. But you still owe me 15 from that night at Scissors when you thought Liz would go home with that drag king, and I bet that she'd chicken out." "Will you stop betting on my life?" Liz went back to gathering the onion skins. "Also, I did not chicken out." "You really did," Jane said, patting her shoulder. "He was so hot, and you totally blew it." "How did the date go, by the way?" Katie sat down on one of the stools at the breakfast bar, putting severe strain on her towel's ability to cover her body. Katie was on the curvy side, which made her the only one of the roommates whose pants Liz could borrow on a regular basis. She had warm brown skin, and her curly hair was usually styled up to show off her undercut when it wasn't still dripping from the shower. Liz groaned, then went to the fridge. "Terrible," she said. She got herself a pineapple White Claw, then handed a blackberry to Katie and a mango to Jane. "Why are all of the dates you go on terrible?" Jane said. "You need to be better at filtering out weirdos." "What happened?" Katie asked. Liz opened her drink and took a long sip before answering. "I thought we were getting along. Then at the end of the date, she said she's sorry, but she just doesn't think she can date a Leo right now." Jane and Katie made identical sympathetic expressions, which only confirmed the suspicion that had crept into Liz's brain about halfway through her subway ride home. Her date had just been letting her down easy. "Well, personally, I think you're dodging a bullet." Jane turned off the burners on the stove and joined them at the breakfast bar. "Astrology people are always weird. Remember that girl who told you that your souls had connected in a past life?" Liz made a face. "True, that was creepy." "Aw," Katie said. "I thought that was kind of romantic." "Why? Do you feel like your soul and Lydia's connected in a former life?" Katie looked down, twisting the pull tab off her can, and didn't reply. Liz wished she hadn't said anything. Teasing Katie about her unrequited love for Lydia, their fourth roommate, felt too mean. "Sorry, Katie," Liz said. "I shouldn't have said that. I'm just in a bad mood because I've been on like 40 failed dates this year. Forgive me." "It's okay," Katie said. "At least you've been on dates. I haven't re-downloaded Tinder since that guy told me Dominican girls just taste better." She rolled her eyes and then laughed. Liz laughed along, grateful for her friend's easy forgiveness. She promised herself for the 100th time that she was going to think before speaking from now on. "How bad do you think this party is going to be tonight?" Liz said. "I mean, the food's going to be fantastic." Jane gestured over her shoulder toward the stove. "But everyone's going to be depressed and sulky during the first half, then get wildly drunk and self-destructive in the second." "I guess there's not really any other way for a you're all going to be unemployed next week party to go," Liz said. All 4 roommates worked at the Nether Fields, a magazine for queer women, non-binary people, and trans people. Living with 3 of her co-workers had originally sounded like fun, but now that they were all losing their salaries at the same time, Liz had to admit there were some flaws in the plan. Jane sighed. "I just can't believe the magazine is really closing," she said, shaking her head. "I wanted to stay there forever. I mean, focusing specifically on trans issues at an all-queer magazine run by a woman of color, it's the literal dream." "You're an incredible journalist, Jane," Katie said. "BuzzFeed or Autostraddle or somewhere will snatch you up and you'll be totally fine." "Yeah, but it won't be the same." Jane looked like she might cry. Liz chugged some of her drink, feeling guilty, both for bringing up